Okay, here we're going to solder our wires from our piece of foam cord to the board. We're going to use all 4 wires, so you want to make sure you have a 4-wire foam cord. It's just any old foam cord. They're fairly heavy duty. You want to make sure you get the end that has, when you're looking at the connector like this with the little pins up, that the yellow is to your right. Let me zoom in. I've got a photo of that, but let me just zoom in so you can see. If you see there, the yellow, you have black, red, green, yellow. That's yellow, green, red, and black in the reverse direction. So left to right, black, red, green, yellow. That's the end, because the other end of the cord will have those in reverse, and that's not the end we want to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to solder these on to this board very simply. I have already cut the wires to a length that's suitable, and once you see where they go, you'll be able to just figure out exactly where you want to solder them yourself also. So the first place that we're going to go with the yellow wire, which is the power wire, is right here. It's going to go right here on the end of this diode. We're getting, for some reason, we're using, Vortech is using 11.8 volts instead of 12. It doesn't really matter to us. It'll work. They have a little DC to DC converter here that converts 24 volts to the 11 and 11.8, and it probably will also convert a lower voltage from the battery back up to the 11.8. I'm not really sure of that yet. I haven't tested that out. Anyway, this thing is designed to hold 1.5 amps of switching current, so we should be okay using it as power. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let me just zoom in a little bit here so you can see where we're going. I'm just going to go ahead and solder this right here. Now these wires are pre-cut. I've cut them and pre-tinned them to make it easy to do. So that's it. The yellow wire, which is our power wire, is now connected. The green and the black wires will be going over to the over here to the pot. So what I do is there's this big resistor they're using as a fuse. It's a 0.1 ohm 3.7 watt resistor. What I do is I just run that black and that green wire under the resistor. It makes it neat, and we don't have to worry about things getting pulled. And we'll eventually solder this. We'll eventually not solder, but zip tie this wire to that resistor to kind of give it something, a base to hold on to, because that resistor is really big, and it can handle it. It can handle the extra force, and we don't want to pull any of these wires loose by accident later on. And so what we're going to do is I've got that. Well, there we go. I've got that there now, and so the next wire that I'm going to concern myself with is going to be the red wire, which is going to go to ground, which is going to go. Let me just zoom back in. The red wire is going to go right here. That's where our ground is at. I'm going to put a little solder on that so that it's ready for the red wire. I'll just bend it back on itself a little bit, and there you go, done. Okay, and next we're going to solder the black wire. Is going to go in the hole left by the pin over here by this pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of bend this down a little bit, the end of that wire, to make it go in the hole a little easier. and go over here, put it through, and if we turn this over, we can see, if you turn that over, you can see the wire through the hole. I just kind of stuck it in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. The wire's pretty small, but it's in there. It's kind of sticking out, and I'm just going to apply a little solder to it. Don't want to heat it up for too long. And there we go. So now the black wire has been soldered on. And we'll verify that it's soldered good by just giving it a gentle little tug. And there we go. Yep, it's soldered in. We can test that later electrically if we need to. And then the next place we're going to solder the final wire is on that pin, that little pin we were talking about, that we've bent back, and it looks like the black wire is connected to it, but it's really not. And we want to, what I'll do just to demonstrate that is I'll stick this knife blade through there. Now we can see that it's not, and actually that's not even a bad idea to do that. Make sure you don't cut your wire. It's not a bad idea to do that, to make sure that wire doesn't accidentally, the insulation doesn't accidentally get melted on the black wire and solder to it if it happens to be touching. So we're going to go ahead and just solder that on real quick. There. Now you can see it's connected, and the only thing left to do is from this point on is put a tie wrap here around the wires, and that's it. You're done. You put the case back together. The pot for biasing the voltage, the control voltage is going to be outside of it's not going to be on the board this time. So that's it, you're done. That's much simpler than the old DIY, and we'll show you how to do the rest of it here in the next tape or two. Okay, so there it is, your little zip tie wrap there, all your wires connected. You know, it's all done. Your wire for the motor is going to come in here. It's just going to lay on top of that. This little thin foam wire works great. You just put the case back on and put it all back together, and then you'll be ready to go when we get the rest of this done.